Odell Beckham Jr. is no longer in the Big Apple, but that hasn't stopped one former New York quarterback from offering his take on the way OBJ's time in the Meadowlands came to an end. In comments to NJ.com, Boomer Esiason said he doesn't buy Odell missing games last season due to injury. I don't know, he had 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns or something. Okay, I'm good, as long as I get my 1,000-yard season. Odell took himself off the field last year for 4 games after making $19 million. That takes a lot of chestnuts. Are Boomer's comments fair or foul, Max Kellerman?
Look, they're fair. First of all, Boomer Esiason's a former player. He probably has special insight that not everybody has. And I can't sit up here and say that I thought Derek Carr quit. Derek Carr wanted to fight me after I said that, and I never played in the NFL.
I wish
never
you
had
guys,
shoulder pads
I wish
on
you
at any
guys
level.
fought. That would have been so good.
Yeah, I bet you wish that, Molly. And by the way, I said that about Eli Manning a couple seasons ago. I thought I saw Eli quit early in the season, and Eli Manning's my guy. I love Eli Manning. But, you know, when you see it, a full contact sport, you're taking a lot of punishment. If you don't have a lot to play for, well, you're getting paid. You should be a professional, yes, ideally. But when there aren't a lot of good players on the team and quarterback's not getting you the ball and you're losing every game and you may be a little banged up and thinking maybe I don't want to risk it. It's possible. I'm not saying that's what Odell did, but it's, you know, a Boomer can have that opinion. I know people say, oh, it's dangerous to start speculating about someone else's injury. I mean, you know, if that's Boomer's opinion, he's entitled to it. I think it's fair.
I don't think it's fair. And I like Boomer. I've only disagreed with him once or twice profoundly on something. He definitely has the right to state his opinion, Max. I'm certainly not questioning that. He hosts a radio show, does a great job doing that for years. And obviously, I think he's an exceptional football analyst. I just disagree with this, but you are right from the standpoint he may have insight that we don't have. But barring that, I mean, you're talking about one of your contemporaries. You're a part of that club. Everybody doesn't get to make the NFL. And Boomer Esiason obviously did for several years. And Odell Beckham Jr. is there now. To sit up there and to say that the guy quit as opposed to being injured, I think he had a bruised quadricep or whatever, but to say that he quit as opposed to being injured, that's dicey territory in my estimation. You have to know something like that in order to say
Well, he insinuated it, Stephen A. He said, I don't know, and then he presented the evidence. He got his numbers, and then all of a sudden he was hurt.
Time out. Where was the evidence? He said he got his numbers, and then after that, you know, he said, I don't know, but then that's what I'm saying.
But I mean, like, in other words, he's like, look, a dude gets his numbers, and then his evidence is circumstantial. He's saying, I'm observing that a dude gets his numbers, and then he gets mysteriously hurt. I disagree with him.
It's not a big deal. I'm just saying it's not a big deal, but OBJ is.
Let's end on a high note, all right? I got something I want to show you here. UFC 241, that's on Saturday. Bad Boy Stockton, yep, that would be Nate Diaz getting ready, just lighting up a joint. Public practice in front of fans, passing it around. A CBD joint.
So there's no mind-altering properties because the THC isn't in it.
Yeah.
Right.
So you don't like it?
No, I don't care. I don't care if there was THC in it. It's his business.
Stephen A.?
Well, I wouldn't go that far, and the reason why is because I have profound respect for him because he's a warrior. Mm-hmm. But you got paying customers that's about to come and watch you fight. You in the best shape. You taking care of yourself. I don't know about that.
He ain't hiding it.
That look.
He ain't hiding it. He's showing everyone what he's doing.
But he's not getting
I don't like that look.
Right.
I don't like that
Just
look.
regular CBD. So many wonderful. Excitement was building in the Bay Area. They trade for Tom Brady's apprentice in New England and land their franchise guy in Jimmy Garoppolo. But an ALC injury ended his season in 2018, and the Niners' season was lost. Jimmy G now back at it, but it was a rough day out in California at camp yesterday. At one point during team drills, he threw interceptions on 5 consecutive plays. Coach Kyle Shanahan downplayed the mistake, saying, we hope to point out these issues in practice so it doesn't happen in games. Stephen A., where you at? There you are.
I'm right here.
Should there be concern with Jimmy G in San Francisco as the main man?
Well, I'm not going to say there should be concerns because of a practice session. I mean, I'm not going to be that ridiculous. But Porn Star Jimmy, that's my nickname for him. You call him Jimmy G. I call him Porn Star Jimmy. And by the way, that is not an insult. That is not an insult. Matter of fact, one would say it's a compliment. But the point is, the bottom line is.
Stop while you're ahead. Keep going.
The bottom line is that Jimmy G, Porn Star Jimmy, Mr. Garoppolo, whatever you want to call him, did complete less than 60% of his passes in his 3 starts last year. He did throw 3 interceptions last year. All I'm trying to sit up there and say is, look, everybody act like this dude is the second coming because, you know what, his first time in San Francisco after Bill Belichick just gave him away for a box of cookies to the San Francisco 49ers, okay? You gave him away because you were upset you couldn't keep him because Mr. Kraft didn't want you to keep him because he's going to believe in Brady and ride with Brady, and that has proven to be the right situation right now. The bottom line is when you look at Jimmy G, there are still some question marks as to what he's going to bring to the table. Yes, he did win his first 5 games, his last 5 games of the season, by the way, when he was in San Francisco. Last year, he started out 1-2, got injured in that 3rd game. I understand that. But the jury's still out. I'm not saying that Jimmy G can't play. I know he can play, all right? I'm not saying that he's not going to be a star. He probably might be. But we haven't seen it yet. And for folks to walk around and act like he earned that $137 million contract, $72 million in guaranteed dollars at the time, like he's earned that, I mean, I beg to differ. I would like to see more. We're going to see whatever it is that we're going to see from San Francisco, and we'll go from there.
I don't think anyone thinks he's earned it. I do think that that the contract came with a lot of risk, and he's now had injury. And his, as you said, his completion percentage down the field is not what you want to see it, where you want to see it. But the fact is, this is a guy, this is not just a backup quarterback who Belichick had play well for a minute. This was a guy who Belichick tapped as the heir apparent, obviously. He chose him not only over Tom Brady, but really Brissett also. He had the GOAT on the team, who's an older guy, and a good young prospect on the team, and said, nope, it's that guy. And then who gave him $137 million, $72 million guaranteed, as you mentioned? Was it an offensive coordinator turned head coach who didn't know what he was doing? Or was it a guy who clearly knows NFL offenses? I mean, even look at the Falcons' offense once Shanahan left.
Who blew a 25-point lead in the Super Bowl. Keep going.
Blew a what in the Super Bowl, did you say?
25-point lead.
So they had a 25-point lead in the Super Bowl, correct? Yeah. Shanahan knows offense. The offense got worse when Shanahan left.
Remember, one of those was an interception, a pick 6 on the part of Tom Brady. Let's not forget that.
It's a couple touchdowns, more than a couple touchdowns of a lead based on the offense under Shanahan, right? Ask Julio Jones what he thinks about Shanahan at this point, right? Obviously, he's not just, in other words, if you plot all the offensive coordinators and now Shanahan's a head coach on a bell curve, a lot of them kind of cancel each other because they're in the middle, and some people are on the far right end, and that's where Shanahan seems to be. So that guy looked at Jimmy G and said, Garoppolo, we're going to give him some money. I think there's a lot of reason to be optimistic about Garoppolo's chances. But should there be concern? Yes, because of what you mentioned, but not because of a preseason, not even game, a practice. Are we now at the point where a guy, maybe he's forcing a little bit, or it's a and we're saying he threw, I agree, 5 consecutive plays to the wrong team, throws to the wrong team is bad, even in a practice, sure. But we're really going to sound the alarm because of interceptions thrown in a team practice.
Not at all. That's why I said I prefaced my comments by saying, please, it's just a practice. Who cares? Practice is where you're supposed to make these mistakes.
Right.
Okay, so it's no big deal. All I'm saying is I'm looking at the resume in New England, the resume in San Francisco, and I'm saying the jury is still out. Why? Because if Belichick is what we believe him to be, the greatest coach of the modern era, if not the greatest coach ever, the bottom line is he could have benefited from that.
Sure.
We'll see.
Well, I mean, yeah, but then, look, of course the jury's out, but Bill Belichick and Kyle Shanahan both looked at Jimmy G and said, I want that guy to be the quarterback. Belichick to the point where Tom Brady had to go to Robert Kraft to short-circuit it, and Shanahan to the point where the 49ers gave him $72 million guaranteed. There's a reason for that, and it's not because he's handsome. It's because there are really smart football people who've achieved on the highest possible level, saying that guy can win a Super Bowl.
Max, the last point, Molly, I'd like to make is this. Max Kellerman, we've been on this show on several occasions discussing and debating a whole bunch of quarterbacks that are getting money that may not necessarily deserve it. So let's keep that in mind as well. Don't look at the money that he's making as validation of how good he is when we can point to a plethora of situations where quarterbacks are getting paid and they don't necessarily deserve that money.
Who is giving them the money?
Practice. We're talking practice. No need to overreact, whether it's 5 picks or 5 touchdowns. We'll leave it there. By the way, you like Belichick's ringing endorsements? Parcells had a ringing endorsement about Daniel Jones.
I'm happy about that.
He's going to be good.
I'm happy. You think I don't want him to be good?
I'm just telling you, I'm dropping knowledge. Let's go to break. Which former MVP is taking shots at Odell, and could he be justified in his comments? That's coming up next on First Take. OBJ. Hey. We got a great show planned for you tomorrow. Will Dwayne Haskins secure the starting spot in D.C.? And will Daniel Jones ever be able to win over the heart of Max Kellerman? Plus, can Baker overtake LeBron as Cleveland's sports hero? First Take, 10 a.m. on ESPN.